And honestly, I couldn't be any happier because the training was going so well that just a week or so before Unbound, I had the highest FTP that I ever had in the 2.5 years that I've been riding. I feel like a lot of riders get discouraged and don't want to challenge themselves at a race like Unbound because it is such a massive day. You're on the bike for such a long time, 200 miles, 12,000 feet of climbing on gravel, which is just that much more intense, not only physically but also mentally. And I feel like the biggest reason for that is because a lot of us are looking at what the pros are doing, and you see the pros doing 10-hour rides, 200-mile rides, and you're like, oh, well, that's not something that I can do, so I just cannot do Unbound. And that couldn't be further away from the truth, guys. Since I found out that I was going to be doing Unbound, that I got picked from the lottery in the beginning of the year, up until race day, I think I averaged anywhere from 10 to like 13 hours a week. So I was definitely not out there doing 10+ hour rides. And even if we could do 10+ hour rides, are we really getting that much training adaptations from it? Like, we're probably gonna go out there, smash ourselves for 10 hours, complete the ride, and then completely destroy our next weeks of training because we're gonna be completely destroyed. So even if we could, as amateurs, if that's not something that you're doing consistently, or not consistently, but at least doing it once in a while, that is not something that you're going to get a lot of benefit from. And that's what I want to show you guys in this video. We're going to go back to the beginning of the year when I found out that I was going to be doing Unbound, and I put it on my calendar as one of my A races for the year. And we're going to take a look at how I structure my weeks leading up to it, the exact training sessions that I did. And then I also want to show you guys some of the training races or training events that I did that also supported my goal, which was Unbound. And I have a couple of videos from Unbound if you guys want to go back and watch them after you watch this video. In this video right here, I talked a little bit about the race. I finished second in my age category, which is men's 16 to 29, and I finished 7th overall in the amateur 200, not the elite. And I finished the Unbound 200 in under 10 and a half hours, so it was 10:25 at 19.5 miles an hour. And I did have a little bit of a mishap, which I talked about in this video, where I lost my contact lens like 30 miles in the gnarliest part of the track or of the course. And if you ever lost a contact, you know that you lose your depth perception. And I couldn't see rocks, I couldn't see holes. It was so gnarly. We were doing like 40 miles an hour bumping down those descents with massive rocks. So if you were there, you know how gnarly it was. Or if you watch some of the Lifetime recap, and you'll see those just massive rocks on those descents. It was super gnarly. But I had a really good day. Aside from that, coming out of my aid station 70, I had a little crash. Same thing, because I couldn't see some of the dirt on the actual road, and that's where I ended up crashing. I lost the front group. I rode by myself for a long time. So I feel that I could have gotten really close, maybe even under a sub 10 hour Unbound, which would have been crazy. But you can go check out that video later if you want to hear more about how my race went and the things that you can do while you're there, like group rides and things like that. Also, in this video here, if you want to go check it out, I talked about my equipment. Equipment-wise, my Unbound went perfect. It's crazy still that I didn't get a single flat. Nothing happened to my bike, which I'm super grateful for, because that is the biggest thing at Unbound. Like, people were getting so many flats, so many mechanicals, and that's where you lose a lot of time. But in those videos, I asked you guys what was one of the things that you wanted to me to talk about in the next video. And that was, a lot of you guys asked about my training, and a lot of you guys wanted to know about nutrition. So first, we're going to jump into my training calendar. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I structure my week, like I said, from my rest day to my intense days to my long rides. And then we're also going to go, after that, we're going to go into the nutrition side of it, and I'm going to show you guys what I started the race with as far as nutrition, what I got on the first feed station at mile 70, and then what I got on the second feed station and last one at mile 150 up until the end of the race. So like I said, hopefully by the end of this video, you guys feel motivated. Like, guys, you will never be ready for Unbound. Like, it doesn't matter how well you prepare yourself, you will never be ready. You will never feel like, oh, I'm so ready to smash Unbound. I was still nervous leading up to the race, and I felt really good. I had some really good training rides. So let's jump into the computer. Let's take a look at my entire calendar, and then we'll go into the nutrition side of things. All right, guys, so here is my training calendar. It's literally right here, January 1st. And first, let's take a look at this right here. Like I was saying before, 11 hours this week, 10 hours this week. Just under 13 this week, 7 because this was a recovery week. Then 8 under 9 the next one, 12 on the next one, 7, 12. So as you can see, I was not doing super crazy volume, but so let me show you guys. Let's go back to the first week. Just lost it. 2024 week 1. So here we are, week 1. So this is kind of how I structure my training. So here I was doing a little bit of base. Just before this, everything I did was just like really long zone 2 rides, just base. This is when I really started more into actual structure training. So what I did was I was doing, so Monday will be my day off. So the first day of the year, I just went for a walk with the dogs. I took the day completely off from on the bike training, and that's how it is. Mondays are always my days off during a load week, and that's what we're looking at right now. So my first ride of the week was a sweet spot 1.5 hour ride, and then on Wednesday I will do a zone 2 ride that was an hour. My Thursday, same thing, I will do a sweet spot, and this is not the same every week. This is going to change depending on what kind of part of the season we are. Right now this is base, so I was doing a lot of sweet spot, and then so that was Thursday, and then on Friday I'll do another zone 2 ride. Then Thursday will be my longer ride. This was a 2.5 hour ride, and this was a threshold session, so those will be like over unders, and those that's sort of like my favorite workouts, to be honest. And then my longest ride of the week will be on Sunday, so this was a 2.5 hour ride, and that's just kind of how it played out pretty much for a couple of weeks, which you can see right here. Same thing, day off, I went for a walk with the dogs. Zone 2, sweet spot, zone 2, sweet spot, zone 2. And if you follow me on Strava, you already probably seen all of this, because all my weeks kind of sort of look like that. And then right here I went out for I did a zone 2 ride before I went out with some friends and did a little bit of mountain biking. So still averaged to about 2.5 hours that week. And then same thing here, I actually rode on Monday because we have Monday off. But same thing, I still respected my day off, so I took Tuesday off. And this is a new feature right here, like this yellow, red light, green light, whatever Trainer Row calls. This is a Trainer Row calendar because that's what I use for my training. As some of you already know if you watch my videos. But so that's kind of how everything played out. Right here, I think I went and did a crit. This is my first race of the season. It was a crit down in Miami. Then after that, same thing, I kept on training, and then we went to Swamp Classic, which was my first actual race of the season. This was a stage race. I got a video on the channel if you want to go check it out. The video did really good. It's like over like 5,000 views or something like that. A lot of you guys really enjoy it. So this right here was a road race. I won that road race solo. Like I said, go watch that video. You're really gonna enjoy it. I'll link it down below. This was like an Unbound style race. So Saturday we had a road race followed by a TT in the afternoon, which if you can see, I won both of those. And then the next day we had a crit, and I finished 4th in that crit. So I took this Omnium overall. That was an incredible weekend, an incredible way to start the year. Then once again we kept on training. Same thing, sweet spot, zone 2, threshold, over unders. Like I said, I love over unders. Long zone 2 ride. That's just how my weeks that's just how it looked. Then we kept on going, and then I went to Chain of Lakes, which there's also a video on the channel if you want to go check it out. This was a big training day for Unbound. Here this was 5 hours, but I did the COD 3 race, which is like 2 hours, like 50 miles. I won that race. And then after that, there was like a 30-minute break, and then I jumped into the P123 race, which was 104 miles. So this was a big training day for me for Unbound, leading up to Unbound. I did not complete the P123 race. I think I did like 70 miles of it, and I just was pretty much cooked after that and went home because I had to drive by myself the whole way back home for like another 3 hours. So then here is where things kind of change a little bit. I feel like, so I wanted to do Florida State Time Trial Championships. I got a TT bike. Like I said, videos in the channel, go back and check them out. I started training on the TT bike, and honestly, it was so difficult to, like, I could still do sweet spot just fine, but those threshold sessions that I was supposed to be doing on the weekends, those really like make your fitness just spike. Those I feel like those threshold over under sessions are really good for your fitness, and that's where I kind of lacked a little bit. Because I wasn't able to do the same power that I was supposed to be doing on the road bike, but I wanted to do Florida Time Trial Championship, so you know, I kept on training on the TT bike for that. So I feel like that slowed me down a little bit, but obviously not a big deal. Right here, I did, this was like a 6-hour ride on the gravel bike. But like I said, guys, like as you can see, like 12 hours, 9 hours. This was a rest week, 5 hours. Like, I don't have a week that I, like this week right here, I had 14. This week right here, I have 15. And then here's where everything kind of changed. So now instead of doing sweet spot, I went into a build. So I was doing, you can see, anaerobic, and then I was doing some VO2, long endurance rides on the weekends. So this is where everything kind of started changing. So I went from sweet spot to anaerobic and VO2 because that is really important. And a lot of people think that because the Unbound is such a long race, you're only going to spend time at zone 2 and you can complete the race with just zone 2. That is not the case. I'll put a graph on the screen. I spent over an hour at threshold, like over 30 minutes at VO2 max, and like 15 minutes or so at anaerobic, which is crazy. And then this right here was a VO2 session that I just did yesterday. Like I said, sorry, over-unders. I freaking love over-unders. And you can see right here, I got a little PR. This has been my best 12-minute power ever, which is like 335 watts. Like I never done an all-out 12-minute, but it is pretty crazy to set an all-time PR doing just a training session. So as you can see, guys, I wasn't doing super long rides, just regular training. Hopefully you guys can use some of this for your own training. And now let's jump into the nutrition side. All right, guys, so now let's talk a little bit about nutrition. And I think I did a really good job throughout the race. Once I added everything that I had during the race, I think I averaged between 105 to 110 grams of carbs, which is really good for 10 hours. Now, obviously, I wasn't having exactly 110 grams of carb every single hour, you know, counting down to the grams. It was just everything that I ate. Once I kind of counted everything, it kind of averaged out to about 105 to 110 grams of carbs throughout the entire race. Now, I had 2 hydration packs, and if some of you watched my channel before, you know that I'm a big fan of Martin, and I really like their stuff. But for this race, just because it was so long, I decided not to go with Martin. And for the reason is because if you ever had their gels or their drink mix, you know that it has this very like gel-like consistency. And I was putting 4 sachets on each hydration pack. So when I done that before with Martin, it comes to a point where it's just so jelly. And after like 4 hours, 5 hours, it's kind of, you're just kind of over it. You don't want to keep drinking anymore, and it feels like you're not really hydrating yourself. You're just having this like gel in your mouth like all the time, and it just makes you like not want to drink. And I didn't want that to become an issue, so that is the reason why I decided to go with SIS. And I really love their I think it's like strawberry lime flavor. It is absolutely delicious. And once it's mixed, because I was, like I said, I was using 4 sachets, so it's 80 grams each, so that equals to 320 grams of carbs per hydration pack. And I had 3 of those during the race. The one I started with, I got one at aid station 1, and then the last one at aid station 2 at mile 150. And I absolutely drank all 3 of them. Everything that was in it, I drank. So I decided to go with the SIS because it is easier to dissolve inside the hydration pack, and the flavor never gets either like too sweet or just too I don't know how to explain it, but it just feels right to me. Obviously, you have to try it out for yourself. Now, putting 320 grams of carbs in 2 liters of water, it is a lot, so it could get pretty sweet. Honestly, for me, it wasn't a problem at all. So I had Jason helping me at both aid stations. So when I started the race, at the line, I had I think it was like the Martin Solid, I think that has 40 grams of carbs. So I had that at the start, and before that I had probably like another 80 grams of carb for breakfast when I first woke up. So then at the first aid station, I got and then I had 2 more gels, 40 grams each. from SIS, the unflavored one, and I also had Martin, the one with caffeine that was 20 grams, and I had all of that before I got to the first aid station. And then at the first aid station, I got the same hydration mix. I got a Martin solid bar and 4 gels. Now, I didn't have all of that up until the second aid station. What I did had completely was the everything that I had on the hydration pack. As well, I was also carrying 2 water bottles, 2 750 milliliter water bottles that were in my frame, and that was just plain water in case I needed to wash my face, or if I just wanted to just drink water, not have that sweet taste in my mouth. And I had only one of those. So the aid station, I swapped that with Jason. I got another one in the bike, and then I got another hydration pack. And in the second aid station, it was the same thing. I had the same hydration mix, so 320 grams of carbs on that hydration pack. And I also had 3 gels, 1 chew from SIS, and a solid bar. I did not have the solid bar, and I think I only had like 1 gel from those. I had everything written down that I had throughout the race, and like I said, everything added to about 105, 110 grams of carbs. And then from there on, I pretty much drank both of the water bottles that I had. Now, I did have to put some on me because of the crash, to kind of clean the blood a little bit from my elbow and my knee. And then I ended having the other water bottle just because I needed some to the finish line. But I made it there fine. I never felt like I was bunking. I honestly think the race, nutrition-wise, went really, really well. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys can learn something. Hope this motivates you guys to just challenge yourself, man. Get out there, do things that you think are hard, things that you don't think, that in your mind, they're just like, there's no way I can do this. And I promise you, you will surprise yourself, because you can. And the feeling that you get at the end of it is like so incredible. Like when you're hurting mid-race, you're like, oh man, I'm never doing this again. This is so hard. This sucks. But I promise you that once you get to that finish line, the hype and everything is just going to be so amazing that you're just going to be like, oh my god, I can't wait to come back again. And that's exactly how I feel. I can't wait to go back again. But thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.